If you're a guy who is struggling through a tough point in their life, you've come out of a breakup, maybe you've lost your job, you're just not doing well mentally, you're depressed, you're anxious, whatever it may be, and you just need a road forward, this is going to be the biggest lie and one of the biggest things pushed out there on YouTube and over the internet these days. It's that training your ass off is going to be your solution to fixing all of your problems. Now hear me out. I am someone who has used training as a tool to better myself in my life. However, whilst training can cover a lot of ground, like anything else, we can get addicted to it. We can use it as a distraction. We can isolate ourselves from others with it, and we can use it as a coping mechanism. And I can speak about this authentically because I've been someone in the past who used training as a coping mechanism. I used it to distract myself from the study I needed to do, the work I needed to do at times. I also used it to distract myself from the loneliness that I felt late at night because I would wind up training at night, or I'd just go to bed super early so I could wake up in the morning just to train. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I appreciate a lot that my own training has given to me in my life, and a lot that it's helped me to build in my own character attributes. I've built a better work ethic. I feel like I'm more resilient. I'm definitely a lot more healthier and fit as a person. And without training, I wouldn't have achieved these things. However, what you need to understand is that you're going to get these people on social media and YouTube telling you that you've just got to be training your ass off the majority of the time, but they also push you into this own little tunnel vision state where you're the lone wolf and you're pushing people away around you, and you wind up becoming more lonely. You wind up getting to a point where you realize you've gotten super strong or fit, you've got the abs, you're super lean and vascular and whatnot, but maybe you don't have anyone to share it with. And maybe all this time that you actually spent on your own, you started to lose some of your abilities or your skills to communicate with others, to empathize with others. You realize that you didn't actually connect to yourself on an emotional level outside of the anger and rage that you're using in your workouts when you're blasting your metal or your aggressive hip hop music. Again, saying this because this is exactly what I was doing for years and years on end. Through our training, we're going to build up physical adaptations and physical skills. However, there are just certain things that training will not fix for you. And these are the things that you actually may have to talk to someone about, whether it be a friend or a family member or professional support. Maybe you have to use journaling. Maybe you have to do something like breath work or get into a practice like yoga where you actually start to connect to yourself better. And then as a result of that, you start to connect with others better as well. As humans, we work in extremes. We always want to go to this or this end of the spectrum. Some men get so heavy in their feelings and they dive into their yoga and journaling and spirituality, yet they lose this masculine side of themselves. And then you've got these super masculine macho men who just don't want to accept the fact that they do have emotions. They don't know how to recognize them, or they just numb them. They'll wind up just training, or some people can turn to other escapisms or coping mechanisms to deal with this sort of thing. And when I say deal with it, I mean brush it under the rug. As with anything in life, you need to use training as a part of your tool set. You need to use the other things like talking to someone, journaling, finding a way to express your own emotions, understand them, and become more resilient so that you can acknowledge them, work through them, and they won't wind up holding you back. If you are someone who feels like you've made tremendous progress with your training and you also engage with your own emotions, you have other activities where you can creatively express that, and you feel like your communication with yourself and the people around you is quite good, you connect quite well, you probably don't need this advice if you have that balance there. But if you're at opposite ends, if you're the person that maybe needs to do more training and you're sitting too much in your feelings and just trying to get your head around it all the time, maybe the thing that you need to do is fucking get out there and move and push yourself, push your body, lift some heavy weights in the gym, run far or run fast, join a sport like boxing or Muay Thai and get around other men and start punching and kicking shit and learning how to defend yourself. However, at the other end, if you're the guy that's always pushing himself with training and work and you're constantly getting fatigued, injured, you're run down, or you just notice that the connection with other people in your life has started to reduce over time, you started to notice that even though you're doing all this training and you feel like you're progressing in that area of your life, you're not fulfilled and you're, again, struggling to connect with the other people around you, you feel this void, this numbness, maybe that's where you start to look at the other direction. What things could you potentially be doing to connect with yourself and others more? Do you dial the training down a little bit, or do you just need to inject some of these other strategies, these other tools into your routine so you can start to define that balance that's going to help you to progress forward in future? So many of us guys go watch a movie or listen to a podcast or some Instagram reel, and then we get inspired to train like a fucking elite athlete, even though we're also trying to work an 8, 10, 12-hour job 5 to 6 days a week, and we wind up burning ourselves out. And we get to this point in our late 20s to 30s, maybe you're in your 40s, and you start to become lonely and you're starting to think, what is all of this for? And it's because you've just gone all in on one thing. You forgot about the balancing act that happens. And the more that you put into one area of your life, great, that means you're going to improve there, but it doesn't mean you can't put a little bit of energy, time, and effort into these other areas. It's always going to be a matter of balance. I'm sure there might be a few of you that disagree with this, there might be some of you that do agree, or there might be some of you that could actually give me your own opinion on this. So feel free to drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you are a guy who is struggling to balance his training routine with his career, with his business, with his lifestyle, and you feel like maybe you are struggling with your mental health, if you're getting lonely, depressed, anxious, you want to work on these other aspects of your life and you want to take the stress out of the training, nutrition, and recovery side of things, but you also want to learn how to self-regulate and use some of these other tools in your toolbox or in your arsenal so you can become that better version of yourself, feel free to DM me Forge on Instagram, and I can talk to you about the online coaching program that I've built for men to address these sorts of problems. On the other hand, if you guys are enjoying the content, please let me know. However, if you would like me to talk a little bit more about training, nutrition in future, maybe a little bit more about the mindset and these sort of matters here, always feel free to drop a comment, or again, Instagram message me directly at Coach Michael Stone, and I'd be happy to create that content for you in future. Until next time, guys, see ya.